dual carry game here with top jungle taking the reins. That being said, for Disguised, their bottom lane was actually one of the large weaknesses in their previous series as well. So we'll see about that. But Jayce gets slammed as the first pick, and there has been a lot of discussion about, do you want to slam Jayce first picks in these sorts of scenarios? Generally, when Cassante is off the board, that's going to be the one, and then debating if you want to go Ambessa or some other different answer into it.
Yeah, Vi obviously very high prio, has been. That's going to be the lock-in for Shaden. We will be grabbing Corki here. This could be for Keine. It also can be for Tomo. It's been slightly more popular down in the bot lane, but honestly, it's pretty popular both in mid and in bot.
Yeah, it's a good flex for sure. Keep the Corki flexible. eXyu doing his Katarina shout-out as usual. As we'll see what they get down to. I mean, you're already facing guaranteed engage with the Vi, so you know there's at least going to be an element of hard engage to your opponents. The hover of that Ambessa and them kind of thinking that it will come from the other side, I think, from Disguise, flashing that before going here for their Varus answer. And even if Corki is not in bottom lane, Varus is very strong generally anyway, and can lead into this poke that you build when you have a Jayce Varus 1-2 pick.
Absolutely. And, you know, one of the things that I do really like, this is actually interesting. So they are going to lock Ambessa. So this could just be mid Jayce, could be Ambessa top. You can obviously flex depending on matchup as well. Yeah,
and like Faker had the Ambessa mid too, so Ambessa can go mid, top, or jungle. True. We'll see if even if eXyu wants to try his hand at it. I would definitely say Ambessa should be in a solo lane. It definitely has the ability to pop off as a jungle, but I would say, especially in pro play, you generally are going to go way more low econ junglers.
Yeah, LeBlanc going to be considered, but not locked in here, as it is going to be the Rumble coming through. Srtty having a really strong game on it last time around, and is considered to be a pretty good matchup against the Ambessa. Can be difficult in these melee matchups. Yeah. So it would be interesting to see, you know, even if Ambessa is not going top, if they would actually swap and try to have the Rumble follow the Ambessa around, or how they want to play out those types of scenarios.
Yeah, we'll see about the tracking later, and especially looking at jungles too. We already have the Zyra ban, but
they need AP, right?
Yeah, they need AP. You might be thinking about some sort of frontline plus AP. So Maokai and Amumu are the two main ones there, because then you get engaged plus you get some AP damage. Yeah. We just saw how much damage Contracts did with Leandri's Maokai. Obviously, that was a very good game for him. But those are kind of the two elements that Disguised are still looking to fill on their team.
I mean, if they can't get engaged from jungle, obviously you can draft an engaged support. You know, you can consider things like Lilia. Hasn't been very popular in pro this year. We've seen a little bit. I think I've seen one Elise game, like one brand game, something like that. So those are still around.
Huhi Elise, and we probably don't want to see another one like that. Of course, Elise definitely is like a
popular support more these days.
Yeah, it's very. It's got a lot of variance to it.
It's hit or miss.
Definitely is a hit and miss.
You win or you lose.
We saw like Duro with a little bit of miss on it as well. Regardless though, Dignitas.
Maokai ban.
Let's see what we go with here.
So Maokai has been banned out, so that's another, you know, AP jungler that has going to be limited. That is, you know, the two most popular by far that are AP junglers in the meta right now. They do lock in the Orianna, so now Orianna plus Vi, obviously powerful combo. Varus going to be threatened pretty heavily by that. Also means that Corki is going to be going down towards the bot lane. They have their double AP solo laners, physical damage from the jungle as well as from the AD.
All right, for Disguise, for eXyu here. Ooh. So we go with the Ivern, which actually can be very good, because if you pair Ivern with the poke damage of Varus and Jayce, you have a lot of siege potential here. And then, as you say, you know, if you still go the engage on your support role, then you have the Ambessa and Rell to be able to go in and hard engage as well. And Daisy is your kind of like pseudo frontline here in the middle too. So honestly, I do like the way that Disguise rounded it out.
And when you look over at the other team, you know, you might want to say, oh, Disguise, you have full physical, they're going to stack armor. Really, there's not anyone who's going to stack too much armor. You might get some extra value from things like Tabbies or from Zhonya's and whatnot, but there's not going to be a massive amount of armor. There's not going to be any super tank that is really going to make that be a problem. So this is going to be interesting. Do have a couple seconds here to see if there's going to be any swaps between Abbedage and Castle.
Yeah. Sometimes the counters to like Ivern comps can be like super big engage, and if you do have a Vi Shockwave there, plus a Rumble ultimate, and they also have the Alistar in their late pick for Dignitas, so that's the angle that they're going for. They want to get that big AoE later on into the game, so The grudge match here about to kick off. A lot on the line as it is elimination to boot.
This is going to be exciting. Disguised versus Dignitas. Second game here of week 2 of the LTA North. We already said it, win or go home. Their split will be over already. Both of these teams losing in week 1. And let's be honest, the teams at the bottom are the ones that need the practice the most, but you need to win to earn yourself the right to get those additional stage games. Well, let's see how they're going to perform here in game number 1. The last series was our first one we've seen go to 3. I'm hoping we're going to get 3 again.
And here we go. First thing to look for, are we going to get the deep invade, looking for these lane swap wards on the other side? Looks like a nice defensive fan here for Dignitas, and a little bit of topside concentration for DSG. They're the ones with the Ivern, so they're looking to poke around. Nice little extra Orianna vision, though, afforded here.
Yeah, so Abbedage is going to be playing Grasp, and you can notice that Keine will have the phase rush. Shaden will be able to spot this invade and should be able to back it out, avoiding that root caller coming through, and both teams just trying to get that additional info. We're going to see the counter invade on the bot side. 5 members from Disguise are top side, so Dignitas can go in and get some wards of their own. Okay,
so DSG do not go deep enough to get the lane swap wards. They just get their very shallow Raptor ward here, and it's just going to be mirrored vision.
eXyu's not the only member of Disguise, though, with a score to settle to Dignitas today. Let's take a look at what Toast had to say about them last week.
Yo, Eugene, I hate Dignitas because of what they did to my boy Skara all those years ago. I remember. I'm not gonna let them get away with it. Dignitas. I'ma say it. Can I say that as a team owner? Like, I'm not gonna get in trouble, right?
Well, that ship has sailed, so whether or not you're getting in trouble, the man said it.
He did say it. It's okay. Nobody saw it. Just gonna be front page here on broadcast. I mean, it does put so much weight behind this, though, and you can tell that since they've been talking about it for so long, it definitely is real. Now, though, into the actual game here. Just gonna have blue side starts for both junglers. Ivern, of course, just doing the channels and go collect the clears afterwards, so it's going to be reversed there. Bottom side push going quite nicely for ScaryJerry and Huhi down there, making the most of that early Varus pick that they had.
Yeah, Abbedage trying to push in. This is going to be difficult anytime you are playing in these melee versus ranged matchups. It's a range job to kind of chunk you out, and often, as Ambessa in this kind of matchup, you're going to have to use your health as a resource, try to push in, try to get the shove, and then reset, so you're not going to be losing too many minions. And Keine just trying to harass as much as he possibly can. But Srtty versus Castle last week, both these guys having a big performance. You can see almost 37% of his team's damage for Castle last week. ScaryJerry did not have a good performance, and Castle was there to try to pick up the weight. He's got that Jayce again. He's extremely comfortable on it. We'll see if he can have a similar performance.
And the main thing is, since his jungler is Ivern doing the reverse clear, going back down towards Krugs, he is not going to have jungle pressure on top side for the early push in for that Jayce. So there is, the highlight of Srtty and Shaden, these two solo queue star players on the side of Dignitas, with a Vi ending the clear on top side. Castle now goes for the ward, wants to make sure you can ward that tri-brush. Vi can get fairly creative in gank pathways, though, of course, with the Q, can try and circumvent some of that vision. If Shaden doesn't, or at least sees an opportunity. First thing first, though, gonna go for the crab.
Yep, should be able to grab that, no problem. Tomo and Isles just kind of hanging on down on that bottom side as ScaryJerry and Isles trying to push this forward. Abbedage still holding onto that potion, has been chunked fairly low, but it's kind of a battle between your health and the Orianna's mana more than anything else. And so we'll see. He is getting very low now and still not popping the potion, so I'm assuming he's going to go back to base, but does elect to actually pop it and try to stay around for one more wave.
Yeah, kind of try and make the most out of his Doran shield here. Regen up under tower. Of course, the Ivern on reset with the Lucidity boots. Actually going to go topside first. So first topside gank will be to the side of DSG.
Yeah, Srtty's looking like he's got nowhere to go. I don't even know if he's going to bother using the flash. Castle flashes forward. Going to be first blood grabbed for the DSG top laner.
eXyu and Castle combine again for another first blood. That's going to be huge for him. Castle did do the early flash there to make sure that Srtty was going to have no escape. So the summoner spell advantage actually will be to Srtty now, but the first blood money going right into Castle. Full big purchase early, actually. Tier plus the boots and longsword here and refillable. Lane's going to feel quite nice on his immediate teleport back.
You look at a pretty big CS advantage already for ScaryJerry and Huhi that they've built up on that bot side. It is going to be teleport for the Varus, so using that for the tempo. Gets back to lane here, and you can see Tomo down a good 9 CS, so nice little bit of pressure. ScaryJerry will just push this out, back it up, and decides not to take another base, but Abbedage teleporting back in a pretty big chunk already, and I do really like the phase rush in this kind of a matchup. You know, it is going to be so much about just spacing the Ambessa, not allowing her to connect with those abilities, and you just got back to base, you already chugged both potions. It's almost time to go home again.
Yeah, the extra damage of the turret shot there, just in range of the turret shot when going for that trade, was a little bit painful. But of course, you know, he's got the Ivern who is surfing between top and mid lane right now, and eXyu going to continue to camp up here. Remember, still summoner spell advantage for Srtty, so does have the flash to be able to get out of this one. But eXyu looking for kind of counter gank positioning as well, in case Shaden does come through. Shaden trying to farm up here. Of course, Vi will be so much more potent when you get that level 6 and can actually have some kill pressure.
Nice toggle by the observers there, though. eXyu got a little bit too close, was actually spotted by Srtty, so they have the information. Shaden going to be spotted on that ward as well, though, as Kaine's fighting mid lane. The shockwave does connect, but Abbedage going to try to look for it. Still has the ultimate available, I do believe. He's holding on to it for now. eXyu going to be pushed back. Shaden not able to connect with the Vault Breaker. eXyu has the shield, will be able to survive. It's a trade of ulti just for the HP, but Keine survives, fights his way out of the 1v2.
Ooh, definitely a little bit dangerous there. And after they go back, honestly, too, Abbedage with the Ambessa public execution ready and flash ready, maybe he'll be able to make good on the exchange, and Orianna having no shockwave, but it is at the very least going to start to cost them some grubs. Shaden gets one as eXyu comes on through, and there it is.
Oh, the public execution connects, as does that root caller. Huhi is here as well and grabs the kill.
That's exactly it. The ult cooldown's difference there, and the public execution does end up resulting in a kill. Actually, a lot quicker than I thought. I thought it was going to be on the next reset, but gets him right before it. Nice move in there. eXyu really being very active on this Ivern. A lot of solo laners list Ivern very high as one of the most annoying, both because of the shields to be able to turn some of those 2v2s, but also the setup here. So yeah, we'll see. Very close to Daisy for himself too. Both junglers very, very close to their level 6s here. And maybe we'll see Shaden actually be able to get something done.
And it was that ward over the wall that really kind of set up Abbedage. That was over the wall towards Raptors. That had been sitting there. They knew the eXyu was around, but I don't think Keine realized he was on vision, so that public execution connected. Huhi helped to make that roam. Isles now gets the info that Huhi is around as he sees that ward going to be placed. They're trying to cover Keine, who is a little bit vulnerable. Shaden, though, going to elect to start up this dragon. Tomo is back, has the early tabbies, so pretty defensive Corki build here early on, but eXyu looking like he wants to get in there and try to contest.
Daisy front line is imposing. They're going to go try and push him out.
Oh, they got the Corki Valkyrie already. Tomo is going to be potentially in some trouble here. Isles stepping forward. You can see the chunk, though, over on a Shaden. Shaden going to go aggressive. They're trying to burst down the Ambessa. Ambessa survives, flashes out. Isles, though, trying to keep Shaden alive. Shaden's burning down and going to get sniped by ScaryJerry. Huhi has to flash and retreat. Dignitas win the skirmish at the end of the day, but it is the kill going the way of DSG. All of their members do survive.
Yeah, just going to be a full reset then. There's no teleport for Abbedage, but it'll be fine. They can just have ScaryJerry take over the mid wave and then rotate on down to the bottom side. Still another one to push, so very nice stuff here for DSG in the opener, in the grudge match, getting big advantages across the map.
I mean, Castle has this range versus melee matchup. They got the gank up the top side. He got first blood. They're winning out on the other side of the map in these skirmishes. And it's a much better start for ScaryJerry. Obviously, he made his debut in the LTA last week, to a lot of criticism, let's be frank. But he's off to the races, had a good early lead as far as the CS was concerned, picks up a kill there, working towards his first item here pretty quickly, and has the ability to have a big impact on a game like this. There's a lot of squishy targets to hit with this lethality Varus.
Yeah, definitely. As long as he can hit these Qs, which he was able to hit that snipe, finish off that extra kill here through the little skirmish. I mean, the criticism leveled at him, of course, the last series that everybody saw was his first Tier 1 series. His teammates were also talking about him being very nervous, but his damage was very, very low for an AD carry. Generally, you'll see AD carries from about 25% up to like 35, even you know, even 40 sometimes for mega carries. But this was very, very low, and it really did show up in a lot of the play too. Like you could tell, very nervous, couldn't step up. He was playing into some very threatening comps, you know, as a low mobility carry too, but is definitely going to have way better stats this time around. I can guarantee it. For
your money back
for series number 2.
Paid nothing.
Exactly.
So you're getting nothing.
Either way, you're not getting any money. ScaryJerry though definitely is
getting some money.
He got paid. He was the one to land the snipe, and being rotated into mid lane, quite nice for him. Able to push out and prep for the next objective here, as they do turn their sights towards the vision around the second spawn.
Shaden was threatening on ScaryJerry there, but eXyu was around, and Huhi's wrapping around behind him, so they elect not to go for it. Isles still level 5, as is Huhi, both just kind of covering down on this mid lane.
Abbedage walking up through river actually does get chased by Srtty here.
Yeah, they could maybe potentially collapse onto Abbedage. Isles now hitting 6 here. That is big for the Alistar, who he's still trying to soak some experience and get 6 for himself. Is missing that flash and is not playing Hex Flash, it looks like. So now going to be able to have that ultimate available. Shaden looking topside though. Keine getting some good damage down onto Castle. Shockwave going to connect. The Vault Breaker flash does not connect, but the cease and desist is there. The flash available for Castle. He's flashing forward. Doesn't have the damage to finish off Keine, but can he get back to eXyu? No, he cannot. Shaden whiffs, but they do still grab the kill, and now the Void Grub's spawning. Can they train it into this? There's no TP for Castle. Keine can go back to base and teleport back.
Exactly. Keine take a big chunk here, but he can immediately teleport out. Big thing though, if you steal away one of the grubs, then it doesn't count for a feat. eXyu here, Ivern is not very good at burning them down, but trying to slowly whittle them down here with ScaryJerry. Meanwhile, they're going to go for the recall. Shaden has decided way too dangerous with everybody moving over from mid lane here. ScaryJerry and Huhi have mid lane on lockdown. So they got double resets there on the side of Dignitas, and the objective goes over to DSG. They are just running away with it here, Azael. I mean, they already got the kills feats. They are chunking away here through the objective feats as well, on top of the gold lead, and getting to the 4 bonus here for grubs for the extra Void Might for pushing down towers. Gonna help out a lot, as well as gold income on these turret plates will be critical.
Yeah, especially if Castle continues to win out in the side lane. You have the Jayce pushing in this Rumble, now threatening with that additional Void Grub damage. Castle did spend his flash, so still has to be careful, but it was 2 flashes used on the other side in the trade. Dignitas back out on the map here, looking for a potential take on this Dragon. Did not grab any of them so far, so would love to be able to pick that up, as Kaine's just going to go back towards mid, hold that wave. We can see Srtty pushing in Ambessa on that top side, and it is the Corki right now matching up with the Jayce, but Huhi is actually going to be shadowing that Jayce, knowing that there could be someone going for him with no flash.
Let's see here. Sweeper used, creeping in. Doesn't seem like there should be any exposure here. Tomo gonna play it safe, clear wave, move on over. Isles takes away the vision inside Dragon Pit too, so nice little setup here from Dignitas, trying to at least get a pocket of vision to be able to play from as Shaden comes on through. A
lot of those first items now coming through here for DSG, you can see. For top lane, jungle, mid, all completing their first item. Ghostblade done on the other side for ScaryJerry, as well as that Redemption. Such a big first item for these 5v5 team fights, and Ivern can get it so quick. And
I think Ivern gonna come right on over to try and contest this too. eXyu's gonna head on over, beeline for it. They do have Abbedage's teleport ready, so Ambessa could come down to join. They're just going to try and force in. Castle's on the bottom side, so it's a little bit of a pincer movement here from DSG.
Yeah, they go. Big engage from Huhi. Change of Corruption there to follow it up. How much damage do they have? Tomo in the backline trying to fire back. Keine trying to get some damage out as well. Still has the Shockwave available. Can't find it onto anything as Isles has to flash out. Barely surviving. Srtty now going to get chased down here by Abbedage. Has the flash, may have to use it. Goes for the overheat, trying to hold on to that summoner. Will be able to do so. Isles ended up burning down even after flashing out with the ulti. DSG win another fight off of a great engage from Huhi.
Honestly, the bottom lane for DSG, which was a weakness in their first series, is showing up huge this time around. The mid lane control into the control ward here through this river brush, and then immediately going for the engage. ScaryJerry's ultimate following Huhi as Huhi jumps on in with the Rell, and they're just battling straight forward. eXyu is here as well. They make the call, double ults. Huhi gets the full combo. ScaryJerry can easily then follow up his own ultimate. And by that time, the fight is already over. With everybody flashing out here, trying to survive, and still not for surviving, burning down at the end there. The extra little bit of a kill. DSG are just running away with it. The grudge match, Azael is looking as one-sided as the trash talk was. People were wondering, like, when is Dig gonna trash talk back? Are they gonna say anything back?
Not after this game so far. We'll see though. Huhi potentially gonna get caught out. And I mean, you saw that shockwave hit 3 members from Keine, did nothing, right? You know, it was hitting some of those tankier members. Orianna needs some time to get online. I do think the scaling is good here for Dignitas, but the question is, do you have enough time? DSG doing a good job pushing the pace. You can see Isles getting poked over the wall there by Huhi and eXyu. And again, it's both the side lanes being pushed up here by DSG. It's going to be Dignitas slow to answer right now. No one is even going down towards the Jayce just yet.
Yep. I mean, they've got more threatening side lanes that can push easier, and they have the 4 grub bonus for applying that pressure. So constantly going to have the first move here for DSG. They can take these resets, take this recall here for Castle, get his Merc Treads completed so that he's even safer when he's trying to apply that pressure in the side lane, harder to lock down. And Abbedage constantly putting the pressure up on this top side. Good toggle again from observers to show that vision control and how dark it is for Dignitas. Like, Dignitas are just playing defense, and so you constantly kind of lose little bits of resources when you're getting pushed in on all sides and you have no vision to see any of the plays that your opponents are setting up. Shaden here now kind of venturing into the darkness and try and get a little bit of something set up for themselves to try and hopefully counter one of these DSG plays. But DSG, very easy for them. A new objective spawns, go take it.
Yep, and Castle's just playing very defensive on that bot side. Did elect to go Shojin first. I actually really like this build, going Shojin into full tank. You're staying in combat a lot longer. You stack up the Shojin very easily, and it kind of gives you a lot more early game power instead of just going like straight into tank or even the Eclipse build. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I definitely like the Shojin plus Fimbulwinter more than the Undying builds, which is like, oh, it's like kind of cool that you know, you get to abuse the Undying for a while, but this one definitely much more threatening. Being able to play off those base damages too. And man, the Ivern just really kind of denies a lot of the comeback possibilities here for Dig. Dig are going to have to start to get creative, because when you don't have deep vision as this team, you're going to have to just move as a group. And if you're moving as a group to look for your Vi plus Orianna combination to get some big engage, then you're probably going to be giving up some resources on some other area of the map. And right now, bottom side is just getting pressured out.
Yeah, Srtty's just going to have to walk this one out. He's not really in any danger of dying, but it is going to mean the tower will fall. They overload this side of the map. They push him back. They grab that first tower, and the feats of strength there are going to be grabbed up. So they have the upgraded boots. They're trying to trade back on this top side. May be able to do so, but DSG, again, coming out ahead.
And the thing is, DSG have Rift Herald. There you go. Immediately they pop it, so they're going to get a 2-for-1 here on towers. Even though Orianna tries to finish up that top tower, they're going to go Rift Herald immediately into the tower and threaten them as well.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. eXyu just drives it straight in. Srtty is moving over. Keine now going back to base. The tower will fall. They should be able to defend the next one as Huhi's going to jump in. Yeah, okay. He thinks better of that.
Shortest ride ever. Huhi just called an Uber to go down the block. It's like, I can't be bothered to walk this distance.
Yeah, looked like he was going to hop in and he was thinking about it, but then when you go forward with 300 health on that thing, it's just going to die. You're going to pop out in the wrong spot and maybe die yourself. So does think better of it at the end of the day. And,
did not pass that driving test.
No.
He got in and immediately was like, where do I go? Where do I go?
It's time to update that prescription.
Eject.
You know? We've all been there. We're glasses users ourselves, you know?
Yeah, very true. Very true. All right, well, honestly, the damage was already done, so it's just a bit of comedic relief here for this game, because DSG, they honestly almost have a stranglehold on this game. With the next dragon spawning, they just took both of these towers that are supposed to be the defense that Dignitas want to be able to create their play off of, but now
that's us.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that show.
It actually is a pretty good one. We'll look at getting some more warm background drop. I think you know, the brick wall behind us. We'll get some extra flavor.
It's warm enough with your bright personality, Kobe.
Yeah, beautiful. Honestly, and the extra light shining off of your shiny head.
Exactly.
Also warms us up.
There you go. It's like a heat lamp, really. You know?
It actually is.
You don't want to stare too closely at it. Blind yourself.
Like looking at the sun.
Exactly.
You shine so brightly, my friend.
Thank you. But we'll see, you know, if Dignitas is going to be able to find a shining light in this game. When you fall behind an Ivern, it is really tough. You kind of have to hit that critical mass where you can burst people down before they get multiple rotations of shields out, or it feels like you're always going to lose that fight. So you touched on it earlier. It always feels so hard playing against an Ivern from behind. You go in, the shield comes out, Daisy's blocking up, the redemption comes down, and you have to be able to kill someone really quick without spending too much and then just losing the subsequent fight.
Yeah, the Moonstone shields on people is crazy. The Daisy life bar just walking at you. All right, let's see how they handle this, because it looks like the split push here is just going to be uncontested as Castle on the Jayce once again pushing in on top tower, and the rest of the map has 0 areas where Dignitas can apply real threat. Even though Otacon is on the other side of the map, they can't apply threat on starting it. You're just going to shred your own armor and magic resist, and then you get trapped in there. It's very hard to escape from that little corridor. So Dignitas here, they're hoping for something big.
We'll see if they can actually find it. They're going to go for a big engage here onto eXyu. eXyu flashes back, but he's got nowhere to go. He's in the back of the pit. The rest of the team's coming forward. ScaryJerry getting zoned out, but Abbedage and Castle have double TV behind, and here comes Keine. He's in so much trouble, knocked down in the back line. Srtty with a great equalizer across multiple members. Tomo Valkyrieing forward, trying to take out eXyu. Can't win the fight. Neither can Srtty. It's Dignitas falling apart, and it's DSG running them over.
And that's going to be Otacon as well for DSG. eXyu here, very nicely done. He just creates enough distance that there's no damage follow-up on him. In Dignitas, you could tell they were feeling desperate. They just felt like we have to full send, we have to go for something, and they felt like eXyu attacking this ward.
This double TB was so quick too.
Yeah, immediate answer there. You can tell the double solo lanes come in immediately. eXyu though kited back away from the rest of the follow-up damage, so the Ivern was safe, and it was a really good kind of sacrificial play from Huhi. Goes in on the Rell, locks them up long enough that the double solo lane teleports get there. Abbedage and Castle are able to clean up, and that's just going to be a wipe here. Dignitas kind of know it, because Otacon also going the way of DSG. It is just domination now.
Yeah, they are getting crushed in this game. You know, DSG just not really giving them the time that they need to try to scale up. They haven't been able to find those proper fights, and DSG getting the better end of it. Feels like every single exchange. Now a 4.5k gold lead, but they're going to be able to make that even bigger here, you have to think, with the Otacon revive. Remember, the LTA North schedule update next week. We are on Sunday only. That is going to be Sunday only, no games on Saturday. And those are going to be the final games before the teams head off to Brazil to decide those final teams that will be heading off for that America's battle.
Yeah, super exciting. We're going to determine the first 2 tomorrow, and then that Sunday day you're talking about will be those remaining 2. Here's the Siege with the Ivern and with the revive buffs from Otacon. So not a lot Dig can do. It's like, hey guys, focus on the minions, try and clear out minion wave after minion wave. Like, every minion wave we clear out, that is a dub. Like, that is a big win for us.
We can beat the minions. We can't beat the champions.
Yeah,
but the equalizer still looking threatening those minions.
Try and burn the minion waves down. Try and buy yourself some time. The Otacon buff, try and time it out.
Yeah.
Is kind of the best defense in that scenario. Just try and wait out the duration of it.
So hard, though. It lasts quite a long time here, and you can see Ambessa, you know, Abbedage pushing up mid lane. They go from the tier 2 top. First wave was used on that equalizer. They take that down, but they lose the tower on the next wave. They're going to lose the mid tier 2 here as well. Castle is getting burned down. We'll see if he loses that GA. Does not look like it, and the flash going to be forced in retreat from ScaryJerry's Chains of Corruption. So 2 tier 2s grabbed very quickly, and now they're heading down towards bot. They can even use this to help grab a dragon.
Yep. 57 seconds left on the spawn there, but still going to be able to push out all waves. And if we did another vision toggle, even Dignitas' own side of the map starts to get very dark and, and scary for them to go into. You know, it's like the areas leading up to this dragon do not belong to you anymore. Tough. So honestly, at that point too, you decide, all right, are we going to just play full defense at our inhibitor towers and hope that our opponents mess up a dive and try and defend there? Or are we going to say, screw it, Hail Mary, everybody group up and just run straight into them to try and fight? I would say the higher percentage play is probably like, camp on a tower or camp on a control ward, but here we go. We are just going to group up in full send.
Yeah, we'll see if they can find it. Shaden going to get roomed up. Doesn't have his flash, but they won't commit to the play off of this. Surprised that they're going to come out for this dragon. I'd rather just see them back it up. The side lanes are getting pushed in. Wait for a Baron or something to contest.
Yeah, it's only dragon number 3. That's why I said the higher percentage play is to try and camp on a control ward or camp on your tower and hope for an opening or mistake presented by your opponents. It looks like they will opt for that. They just made a little bit of a move here to see if they could find anyone. As the Otacon buff has fallen off. So any pick then actually would be quite meaningful, but nothing presents itself, so back to defense.
Yep, going to be on the back end once again. Baron going to be spawning up here right now as we speak. 3rd Dragon claim for DSG. Baron on the map. This is where things are going to get really, really tough. You talked about the lack of vision they have. At the very least, they did get out on the map, got a couple wards over in this Baron area. Really just the 2, I guess. But DSG now, after having pushed in that bottom side and taking the dragon, they're going to go look to try to reclaim this. And Abbedage already spots one of the wards. The second is a little bit deeper, but they have no vision on the actual pit.
You know what this would be the perfect time for? I wish Toast was here today also, so we could go interview and he could start gloating after a game 1, because gloating after game 1 is content either way. Like if you smash them, then it's like, oh yeah, we started gloating, we had confidence, you know, we're trash talking pretty early in the series. But then if they win game 1 and then lose the next 2 games, then you also get content there.
That's why trash talk before the series is always the best trash talk. You can't wait to trash talk till after you beat them.
He's done trash talk before, and he could do trash talk during.
Sure. Yeah, at all times. That's another look as Huhi's going to go in on Tomo. Tomo's going to get Chains of Corruption, Cleanse, Flash, Valkyrie, all to safety. Ignite is on him. Huhi's the one in trouble right now. The Redemption coming down, trying to keep him up. He's the first to fall, but it's Castle, and it's Abbedage in the back line, and it's Dignitas getting cut to pieces. Whips and chains. Abbedage cutting him down. Srtty trying to keep the team alive here with Isles. Isles going to get a nice Q, but he's rooted up and he's going to be knocked down. Abbedage can't find anything more. The solo laners will survive, but everyone else falls, and it's just in trade for the Rell.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? Huhi's position in this match is to sacrifice for the duration of our double teleports to come in. And maybe a little 1 second quicker possibly could have been done there, but they still get there in time. The double solo lanes come in again.
The TPs are looking on point.
Yeah, the double teleports, they rip them apart once again, chase them down, and claim their reward.
Going to be able to grab the Baron. DSG, if they didn't already have a stranglehold on this game, now they definitely do. Dignitas are looking cooked for game number 1. It's going to be back to the drawing board here. Srtty going to get teleported on. He has overstayed his welcome. Going to get locked down by Huhi, and you have to think this teleport. ScaryJerry pops the Ghost Blade coming in, looking to finish off a kill here. He'll be able to grab it 3-0-7, make it 4-0-7 for ScaryJerry. A much better series than we saw from him in his debut.
Certainly is. All right, here's another look at it. Huhi once again goes for the combo. They get everything basically out of Tomo. Now there's no defenses left for this Corki, and so as soon as the double solo laners arrive, they immediately engage on them. They get the Ambessa ultimate, as well as Castle being able to finish off that Corki that had nothing left, and then Abbedage kept up the chase while still staying safe and being able to go in for the extra one here. So Baron picked up. I mean, as soon as we get back to live, I expect to see them at the gates. Yep, there they are. Immediately, they're knocking on your door. Dignitas, not a lot they're going to be able to do about this. It looks like they were trying to at least get some minion waves on the top side of the map, but
can't base race Baron.
They certainly can't. Nope. You can, and you'll lose, actually.
True, you can. You're right. You're right. I stand corrected. Thank you, Kobe. That's why we make a good team, you know? I say the dumb thing, you say the right thing.
Maybe dumb and dumb.
Okay, respect, you know? All right. Well, we'll see if DSG can clean this one up quickly. They already have one inhibitor down, 28 minutes in. Second one does fall. Obviously, they don't have the wave for top, but I don't think they really need it. Pushing forward, the root does land there. Over onto Srtty. Srtty getting chunked out low, does have to pop the stasis here. The broken arm guard is used, but another nice root immediately lands after, and Huhi's going to go in. Abbedage, public execution into the back line, trying to get on Tomo. Can't finish him off just yet. Abbedage has gone too far. He gets burst down. Dignitas have lost no one. It's just the one kill, but they will hold for now.
All right. The defense does hold strong. Dignitas here a little bit over-eager under double Nexus turrets, but it's still going to be such a difficult job to buy time because actually they've got 50 seconds here, so Abbedage will be back up for the spawn of the next dragon, and it should be them moving over to the objective. Cloud Soul very, very critical. Let's take another look how this actually happened with a bit of the extra damage taken. Srtty Zhonya's here, so waits it out a little bit. It's looking dicey for him. Then they go in for the full combo. It's Abbedage under the tower there with the Ambessa ultimate, and Srtty just lives barely there. Look how tiny that life bar was, but it ended up meaning there was no trade kill.
Still counts.
It still counts, and
it's
it
about
was
the quality of the life bar, not the size.
Exactly, and he used it well.
There you go. Man knows what he's doing. We'll see if Dignitas can find a way to make a miracle happen here. Down nearly 10,000 gold. Huhi with a good spot here. Spots out Srtty. And Tomo, and it's going to be tough for him to move in. They are going to find Huhi, but it's going to be Srtty looking to get engaged on. Shattering Strike does connect, but no more than that. And look at these arrows are just crushing Keine. Already down to half health.
Yeah, we're really rough
Back to
again.
base.
I mean, they're only gonna have one Nexus turret to make their defense this time around, but better than taking like a 0% chance fight here, walking in to contest the Dragon Soul. So that is going to be Cloud Soul picked up for DSG. They can walk even quicker over to the top lane to finish on pushing it in. I would assume that they want to go for a triple inhib ending since they already gave up one Nexus push. Generally, after you die one time and get kind of pushed back off on one Nexus push, gonna go a little bit safer next time around. So yep, heading up top side, push that wave in, go grab the third inhib, and here we go. Dignitas, can you find another angle?
One bright spot, 3 items now for the Corki as well as for the Orianna, and Orianna just hit level 16. So you have the max rank ulti, you have the Void Staff completed. Obviously would love a death cap or something behind that, but you know, there is some real threat if they can find the backline, but that is a very big if, and they still have to deal with eXyu here, who is going to be keeping those carries as safe as he possibly can, and he's got a Mage Eyes.
Yeah, 10 stacks. You get the bonus here for eXyu. He can stay so safe, put up these brush for the siege. Daisy will be super annoying, slowly whittle down this turret. Nobody has to go under turret. You will have the pressure with these Varus arrows coming through, with the Jayce as well, and they can just murder it.
Yeah, they're just going to step forward and be able to knock this down. The supers didn't even need to wait for the Miles flashes forward. There's the equalizer, but it's a public execution in the backline with Huhi. Abbedage is cutting him to pieces. Keine barely living. Srtty pushes him back. Keine trying to get back to the fountain here, but Tomo is gone. Shaden is gone, and it's a 3v5 at the steps of the Nexus. DSG pushing forward here, trying to knock down that last tower. It is gone, and Isles doesn't have a lot of health to work with here. Castle in the backline, flashing forward, knocking Srtty back. Will get back into the fountain, barely survives there, but DSG are going to clean this one up. They're going to take game number 1 against their rivals in a very dominant game.
Yeah, let's get like a little post-game 1 interview. A little spice on that trash talk. Honestly, they were way more focused this time around. They took care of business.
They did, and LTA North Twitch subs are back. Join the community for exclusive content, including the League of Legends in-game emote, Why Not?, for paid and gifted subs. Plus, get access to all of our exclusive LTA North Twitch emotes, like Azael Nodders. Subscribe today to the LTA. We're heading to the break. Game 2 is right after this.